Okay, welcome back to the second video about Vue.js, and in this video I want to talk again a bit about the data object, because there are a few things I really want to emphasize again. So what you need to understand is that the data object in our Vue instance can take literally anything in terms of the types of data we have here. In the last video we displayed some strings. Of course that worked fine, but we can also define some variables like number here, like I did it, and save a 10 as a value. So a number, integer, in here and display it will work. Let's reload the page and you can see 10 will be displayed absolutely correctly. No problem. So the next thing you need to understand is not just that we can save like anything in the data object, but also that these right inside the mustache syntax, the double curly braces here, are JavaScript expressions in the end. So in JavaScript, when we want to add something in JavaScript, we just type +5 or plus the number you want to add on. So for example, if we let's see this as an example in a console log. So I enter 10 plus 5 here, and in the console you can see 15 because JavaScript detects, okay, we want to add some numbers. I guess you knew this already, and it's the same thing here. Even though this is a number in the end, so the 10, you will detect or will place the number, the 10, so the 10 in the end here really, into it, and will detect, okay, we want to add something here, and that's why there will be 15 in the end. Vue.js takes this whole thing and detects it and really works with it and just will display the correct result in the end. As you can see here, what is actually rendered is the 15 in our DOM. But to emphasize it again, this works just with our Vue.js instance. If we leave out this main.js, this will be shown, like the plain text we entered here, because HTML doesn't know how to work with it. That's why we need Vue for this. And besides adding something, we can also multiply. So number times 2, 10 times 2, 20 obviously, but we can also access predefined variables like math.p, and we will see the correct result, about 30, because 10 times pi is about 30. I guess you should know this. That's what I wanted to mention here. So these are JavaScript expressions in the end, and you can do a lot of it with it. The next thing I did here is displaying greet user, but there's something special about it, because you can see this is a function call, because there are those brackets here. And what I did here is saving a function called greet user in our data object, which returns something. And if we just access greet user, this will print out our whole function. This is not what we want to do mostly. We want to actually call the function, and we see the return value of the function will be rendered correctly. The next thing I did here is working with an array of users. So Max, Anna, John are the values in this array, the entries, and we can also display them. And we can do more interesting stuff in terms of with the Vue for attribute. We are going to talk about this in the next video. So what I really wanted to emphasize to you is we can work with any kind of data, and this is dynamic because we can work with JavaScript expressions to offer dynamic outputs. Like we can also enter date.now here, and every time we will reload the page, there will be something different, because date.now is really the current second. This is what we can understand as dynamic, really dynamic, not just hard-coded. This is the whole magic of Vue.js in terms of the data object. Really important to understand that.